We have Bitcoin tanking. We have cryptos going nuts. We have Thanksgiving warnings. Stock markets, it's scrambling, going up and down and so volatile. Man, a lot has taken place. Threats of war, threats of problems, civil unrest with cities. Because you have a lot of these democratic cities that are pushing against the Trump administration on trying to keep them safe. We have judges going crazy. Everything seems like it's coming to a head. We talked about threats of depression, threats of war. Well, with all this, if they're true, if they're rumors, no matter what, I want to be prepared. I want to be independent, and I want to make sure I'm sustainable so that way I don't have to leave this room unless I just want to. Well, today we're going to discuss 5 things that I purchased this week, things that I believe that you should be purchasing. When Bitcoin's struggling, with crypto struggling, with stock market struggling, the fact that we don't know where our dollar is, let's make sure that we are prepared and have the things that are going up in value or that could bring a great asset value to your family. 5 things that you should purchase this week that I did. We'll talk about them. Let's jump into them today. And I think this video will really help you, especially if you're on a budget and you're trying to save money but want to find true wealth. Let's talk about them today. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, we appreciate you. We humbly thank you for being here because, man, we have been so held down lately, but we want to keep on giving good content. We hope that this content is beneficial. So there's a lot of things going on, and we want to talk about them today because of the things that you're hearing. We look at prepping as insurance and sustainability. If you never use it, great. That's awesome. The good thing is you can always utilize these things in other ways. But God forbid we have to use these things. I want to be prepared and know I'm not running to town and put myself in a vulnerable situation. So let's talk about the things that I purchased this week. Now, number 1, I'm going to be honest with you. The stock market always scares me. Bitcoin scares me. And it talks about finances. Well, one thing I purchased this week was gold. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've been pushing gold for a long time. But because of the price, I've actually held off a little bit lately because I'm thinking, man, it's so high. What if it goes down? Well, it can correct. But I'll tell you 2 other ways you can purchase gold. Now, I bought physical gold. I like physical gold, but it's expensive. Right now, it's worth more than it's ever been. So if you don't have $3,100 or $3,200 to buy an ounce of gold, my gosh, that's a lot of money. Here's another way you can do it, or 2 ways, actually. Have you thought about buying gold mining stocks? Have you thought about taking a portion of your 401k or a portion of your money and start putting it in gold, in tangible gold, in physical gold into the market? That's 2 options for you. So what I did this week is I took a portion of some of the money that we had in the stock market, and we're going to go a little bit more in depth in the stock market in just a second. This is just me personally. I took some of that and I put them in some gold mining stocks, U.S. Gold Mining and Gold Mining Inc., and even into the indexes for gold. Again, not that you have to do that, but that's just something that I thought was a good investment this week. Also, I took a portion, instead of buying physical gold, I moved some money from my 401k and put it into a gold IRA. It's not something you have to do, but again, I'm trying to hedge against the problems with the market. Gold is at all-time high. It looks like it's going to go higher, so I want to make sure I had a hedge. So number 1, I bought precious metals. Now, option here, if you don't have a way to buy gold or you don't have the money in the market to put into gold stocks or gold mining stocks, remember, gold mining stocks are at its all-time low. So that means the more gold goes up, the more gold mining opportunities will come, especially under Trump and rare earth minerals as he's pushing. But say you can't buy gold. If you thought about buying silver, silver is a very good price right now. You can buy ounces of silver. Now, if you want to buy a little bit of both, I always buy gold and then I kind of make up the difference with silver. Silver may not ever go up as high as gold. But again, I'm putting my wealth in something such as precious metals, tangible goods. Bitcoin went from 100,000 to literally like 80,000 in a matter of like 48 hours. Now it's went up a little bit, then it'll go back down again. All of a sudden the stock market, same way. We saw it have a big rise, did great, but the volatility, the speculation of the tariffs have made it fall again. It subsided. So personally this week, I looked at taking some of the money I already had in the stock market and put it into gold mining stocks and into gold stocks. Secondly, I bought physical gold. So that was just one thing I did this week because I wanted tangible goods, tangible assets, instead of just a falsity with speculation in Bitcoin, crypto, or just to leave it in the bank where inflation will eat it up. Number 2, I'll tell you something else I did. We had a sniper class and a long range class. So this week I purchased a new 2A Rights. I bought a 6.5 Creedmoor, so it's giving me distance. I'm building and honing in a new skill. Now, I've always done classes, and I've always utilized a lot of self-defense tools, but I've never went the distance. So, if I want to build new skills, it's going to only benefit me in the long run. Also, the value of these 2A self-defense tools are only going up in value, especially with all the craziness in the world. The UK just took the rights away from their people to have these and to have knives. Australia has taken the rights away from people. Canada has talked about this as well. So guess what? Number 2, I bought a self-defense tool this week. Mine was a 6.5 Creedmoor because I wanted to build a new skill in 2A Rights. So this may not benefit you. You may say, Colby, I don't, they kind of scare me. I don't want to look at that. What about something like a taser or something like a shocker? Or something like a good tactical flashlight. Maybe it may be something as simple as a baseball bat. But number 2 is I want to take care of my family and take care of myself. So I want to make sure that I'm prepared to have defense. Not only that, a food provider and self-defense tool is a good investment here. So number 2, that's what I bought. A 6.5 Creedmoor firearm that is very, very good to have. That may not benefit you. You may look at something that's something for personal carry. I've done that too. So you need to really think about this. If you don't want to be vulnerable and you want to take care of yourself, this is the best way. Before we go any further with our list, this is not part of the numbers, but this is a great investment that you can make this week. Check out Doorcade. This is a sponsor of today's video, and we talked about civil unrest. We talked about problems. We talked about security and safety. What if you wanted to make sure that your door is safe? That you're barricaded in, that no one can break into your home, especially if you're vulnerable or you're older and you're worried that those locks or chains won't hold. Well, this may be a great investment for you. The sponsor of today's video is Doorcade Door Bar. Now, Doorcade Door Bar, I have 2 of these. One in a safe room that we have, and then one on one of our main doors coming in our home. What the Doorcade does, it allows you to protect your doors by having this. You remember in the old days where they had the old 2x4 that's crossing the door and it was held up by 2 brackets? Well, this is now the newer version of that. Now, I have a silver version. They've just come out with a sleek black version. But what this is this is a protectant for your home. Not only is this the best defense, it's a multi-layer protection to properly fortify your doors. Doorcade is not just for the front door. Someone can access the living room windows and still have access to your home. That's why we recommend putting them on bedroom doors, creating a safe room so that way you have that protection. Now, I've told you before, I have it on one of my outside doors because we have the privacy screens. You see that right there. But what if all of a sudden they get into the home? I have a second one just in an inside room. I can't tell you where that outside room is, but that inside room is even got this bar and this Doorcade system on it. So that way, if we have penetration inside, we can get to that room. Now we have a safe room with no other access but that door. The Doorcade cannot be penetrable. This thing is unbelievable because now you're anchoring to the door frames and making sure that it's got a good hold. Doorcade is the only true battering ram level resistance. That's why the Department of Defense and other government agencies use the Doorcade. They come with a lifetime warranty and installation is so easy. We actually installed this in about 5 to 10 minutes on each door, and to be honest with you, one of them took a little bit longer just because I couldn't see. The extra door in the safe room doesn't have windows, so I had to use flashlights and things like that. Please check out Doorcade. This could be one of the best investments, especially for your loved ones who are young, who are vulnerable, maybe older, and needs protection on their doors or in a safe room. One of the most safe and economic ways to protect your home. Doorcade is a game changer when it comes to protection. Now, Doorcade was not part of our list, but that would be a great investment. Now, number 3, we're going out of town this next few days, and because we prepare and we are sustainable, our goal is to always have emergency medicine. Now, this week, we have these kits. So we bought some wellness company kits. We have the contagion kit, the medical kit, and a kid safe kit. However, last trip when we went to Colorado, Harley got sick. So we had to use some of the Zofran out of there. Also, I keep an extra EpiPen. It's bee season, so I've been out at the bees a lot lately. So I keep an EpiPen out of that kit pretty close to me, just because I'm not allergic to bees, but I tend to swell pretty good, and it's almost like every time I get stung, it gets a little worse every time. So I keep an EpiPen close. So we invested in another kit. Now, you may not need a kit. However, if I'm in a bad situation, I'm in the middle of the woods, I'm on vacation out of state, maybe I'm in an area on vacation where I don't know the doctors and the pharmacy in the areas. Maybe I'm in a situation where I live right here, my doctor's right down the road, but I just don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the hospital. It's a weekend, and the last thing I want to do is go spend it at Walmart pharmacy or Walgreens pharmacy or in some kind of clinic because sickness is going around. The Wellness Company has a great kit. There's tons of companies out there, so please make sure you're looking for what company can benefit you. But they all offer things that could help you with nausea, vomiting, things that could help you with sicknesses. You know, the big 2020 thing, I mean, a lot of stuff went on there. There's I word that's been so popular. Now you have it in this kit at your home, at your disposal to utilize when you need it. Say you have the flu, there's something for that in here. The last thing I want to do is have to leave my home to go get these things and put myself in a very vulnerable situation. Also, we know that medicine shortages are happening more and more because of the trade and tariff wars with China and India. Sadly, most of Americans' pharmaceuticals come from those. So why do I want to put myself in a bad situation? Have you seen the pharmacy lines? The last thing I want to do is go stand in line, especially if something goes bad, something goes down, or maybe I'm not even locally in my state. So since I'm going out of town, I bought another kit. The Wellness Company is where I bought it from this time. There's tons of companies. You could look at them. The Wellness Company is where we bought this time, just because it was a better economical buy this time. I'll leave a link below the kit that we just purchased, but do not miss out on the opportunity to make sure you have this independence for something that really we have to depend on, medicine. And even though we don't want to take it, even though we try not to take it, I want to know that if I have to, like the situation with Harley, we had a snowstorm, we had to get out of Colorado. We didn't have time to go to the doctor. We didn't have time to go to a pharmacist. We had to get out of there. We had to get off that mountain or we were going to be stranded. But what if we were stranded? This is a good investment here. Number 4 is probably one of the biggest purchases I made this week, and it's not a lot of money. It's seeds. You need to buy some seeds. Right now it's gardening season, starting off, of course, for a lot of the southern zones, but you're fisting it into garden seasons all over America. 2 things that came out this week. The bee population's down, so we're losing pollinators. Secondly, the fact that more farms are using modified seeds. So that means the heirloom non-GMO seeds that we can harvest and utilize year over year is starting to dissipate. There's also stories where farmers are saying their lands are not producing, they're not productive. And what it is because all the amendments and all the junk that's getting put on our foods to quote unquote make it grow faster, better, sleeker, without insects. And we know all this stuff is not good for our health. So guess what? My challenge to you is to buy some seeds. Now, here's why. If you live in the city, I still say buy some seeds. First of all, you can buy microgreen seeds and grow it right in your window. If you haven't seen my video, Life with Colby Mack, and we talked about our homestead pantry, we're literally growing crops in our window, not being outdoors. And we can literally put them on anything, eat them with anything, and we are providing nutrients that are very dense and very good for us in our diets. So we're taking over a part of our diets with growing things indoors. There's so many different vegetables and different plants that you can grow in small little container gardens in your kitchen. Do not miss on the opportunity. So if you're in an apartment, use grow lights. Sit next to a window. We literally are doing this right now. Secondly, if you have any kind of yard, it doesn't matter if you're in a subdivision or not, look at edible landscaping options by putting in a garden, finding ways to grow seeds, having that 1% better, growing something this year is going to do better and give you independence, and it's going to make your food taste even better because it's going to give you a satisfaction of saying I was sustainable, I was independent, and I started growing food. Now, I bought from Survival Garden Seeds. That's just who I always buy from. I also bought from local co-op. If you choose to buy from In My Gardener or Hall Seeds or any other provider, I just want to challenge you to buy non-GMO heirloom seeds and start growing something. It doesn't have to be this big monster garden. If it's just 1% of your food, 10% of your food, 30% of your food, then you're going to be doing better and it's going to give you independence. Number 4, buy some seeds this week. I did, even though I harvest my own, even though I have tons of seeds. Actually, we have a problem. We have too many seeds. But we bought more this week because we know it can be invaluable to you. What about herbal remedies? What about medicinal plants? What about seasonings? All of that is things that you can grow, and you don't have to utilize Walmart or any other grocery store. Number 4, seeds. Now, number 5, I didn't buy an automotive car or anything like that. But what I did do is, because of all this talk with tariffs and automotive parts coming from overseas and how the parts were going to go and be more expensive, there was things like Misty's vehicle had a little knock in the front. Wasn't anything major, but I knew that something like the brakes or brake pads were not doing well. I needed a battery for another vehicle. I also need, if you know my old dump truck we call Big Red, it had a cylinder leak. Just very simple things. Had a little motor, little glitch on the regulator. I mean, like $20 parts. All those things were just little minuscule things. But they did say that auto parts and also cars would probably go up because of the tariff situation. Now, I do believe that the tariffs things are good. I think it's going to be a growing pain, but I do believe it's going to be for the best. But this week, I just did that. I just bought little things I needed for my cars. Things that I wanted to get repaired, things that I may not can fix. I had to send to a mechanic. I wanted to get those things fixed so that way I could economically save a little bit more money. So right now, if there's some little thing that you need to do on your vehicle, some little part that you've been procrastinating off because you didn't want to pay for it, it may be cheaper now to do it than later. Now, say, for instance, your car's working great. Here's another option. Gas right now is pretty low. It's went way lower than normal, especially over the last few years. So it may be, let's just buy a little extra petroleum this week. I bought a few extra tanks before winter. I told you a few months ago that I purchased a ton more of gasoline tanks. We also bought a few more propane cylinders before it got really cold. Now, again, we're going out of winter, which is the highest expensive time of propane. So you may just want to buy some more propane and have in these little propane, either to fill up your big tanks or to have for propane cylinders for grills and things like that, because it may be more economical to purchase now. That being said, I don't advise you to buy a car right now. I really don't. I don't want you spending any extra money. I think you need to stockpile money more than anything. Cash, or put money up like the tangible assets that we talked about with seeds, with medical, with, of course, things like gold. But say, for instance, you're worried about a car. It may be the best time to buy a used car. I don't buy new cars. But it may be the best time to look at a car if you have car issues. The way they're talking is cars may go up 10 to 15%. It may be just for a season, and the last thing I want you to do, again, is to go get a note. I'm not telling you to, quote-unquote, buy a car. I'm just saying if there's a time where you need to fix a car, if there's a time where you need to trade in or buy a used car, it may be that time. Now, please, don't go in debt for it. If you can't pay cash for it, fix your car like we talked about it. And right now, again, automotive will go up, so let's go ahead and fix some little things like I did on my vehicles. So number 5 is automotive equipment, things that I needed. If it's not that for you, maybe a car. If it's not that for you, let's look at ways to just buy some extra petroleum, some extra gas, some extra diesel, some extra propane, something that can benefit you, because all those things, petroleum-wise, has went down. However, new reports showed that it could very well go up with the more of the trade talks and the more of the problems and the speculation, especially with the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Guys, I hope this list helps. This is just 5 things plus the doorcade that I was talking about that could help you and your family. It may not help you, but these are the things that I purchased this week because I know how valuable all these things are to me. More than just putting cash in the bank, more than just having money in the stock market, or more than just buying speculative currencies like Bitcoin. I just said, look, I want to invest in things that's going to bring me value. These 5 things bring me value. Not only that, I want to tell you another thing. Again, personal. I'm not a broker. I'm not a financial guy. But I'll tell you what else I did. Because of the market and the volatility, I pulled a lot of my money that didn't go into gold. I put it in money markets. I think the best thing to have is to have some safety nets there, so I won't lose all the money that we've put in there. My parents are older, so I did the same thing. I told them, let's keep some money in the money market accounts where it's a little bit more safe. It's not exposed to the market as much. And to be honest with you, yes, I'm not going to get a lot of the gains, but I'm not going to get a lot of the losses in the market. And right now, they said the volatility is there. I believe that we're going to feel a correction before long. So I moved some money around and put it not only in gold, but also put some in the money market for right now to give me a peace of mind to know that the money that I have invested there is not just going to be lost completely because the stock market goes down. So that's my video for today. I hope it helps. I didn't want to just talk about current events, but because of the current events, this is when we prepare. Because of the current events, this is why I want to be more independent and more sustainable. Because of all these things, if they become true, if these rumors are true, and these things happen, and civil unrest takes place, and problems happen, and wars break out all over these crazy countries, I want to be ready for it. And here, you can be ready for it too. Cheap, easy, find ways to do it. Be smart, be prepared. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.